My name is Laura Koppenhoefer. I grew up on a farm near Pontiac, Illinois. I rode the bus to a wonderful elementary school. There was only one troublemaker in the school, one bully, who one day called me Frog. Oh, he knew how to get to me, and he did. That name cut my little heart to the quick. Some 30 years later, I was a first-year seminarian and the mommy of 2 little girls in elementary school. One day our youngest came home so excitedly with a gift for me, a little spiral notebook, and on its cover a frog. And written above the picture, the acrostic, "Fully rely on God," F-R-O-G. That was me, a frog after all. That was what I was doing there, doing my best to fully rely on God. I still am. I'm a lifelong Lutheran, worshiping in Pontiac and then in St. John's when I was in college at Wesleyan. Married my husband, Rod, there in 1985, and then with him and many others helping to start the Community of Joy worship service. It was something Pastor Erdman explained there many years ago that first got me thinking about grace. That grace, most simply, is undeserved love from God. Now, I know that God's grace is in the big stuff, right? Word and sacrament, forgiveness, salvation, eternal life. But that day, I realized that God speaks grace in the little stuff every day. Wherever the world puts up a roadblock and says, "Stop," God's grace says, "Hey, I love you. Keep moving, keep living." In 1999, I remember struggling to find a way to afford seminary. I was standing in the newly built south entry there at church with Pastor Wells by that statue of Jesus, and Pastor said, "Laura, the St. John's Trust is granting you $2,000 toward your seminary tuition." It was beyond my dreams to hope for even half of that. What a gift of grace. I stood there and wept. In 2004, I stood in the Parish Life Center, full of grief after we had buried Rodney. The room was filled with family and friends and community who came to eat with us, to celebrate his life, to hold us up and hold us in prayer and keep speaking God's words of grace. For 2 years now, cancer has been the bully in my own life, and yet my name isn't sarcoma, it's Laura, child of God. Each day I'm still alive, surprised by grace, in prayers from countless others, in wonderful medical care, in the gifts of love and worship and friendship, and in the strength to take leaps of faith, even a day at a time. Thanks be to God.